And we're back. Perfect. So yeah, let's go ahead and do this. We're at day 293, which is pretty wild. It's been going on a year now since we landed in Vardenfell at Seydenine, the Census and Excise office, and stole Fargoth's ring. Seems like a long time ago. I don't remember how to get to Margon. I think it's up... Oh, we gotta move this back. I think it's up here. It is. Okay, so it's directly north of us. We can probably just take this hill shredder then. Oh, see? Look, it's a bat. It has bat fur, which does fortify attack, which is actually a pretty cool, pretty useful alchemical ingredient. Cute little guy. But yeah, not in the base game. Wonder how Fargoth is doing. Probably not very well. Especially considering we robbed his ass blind. Fucking took his ring, gave it back to him, stole it a second time with all of his money. Rough. Okay, so there's a shrine here, right? I don't know if I've ever been to Margon. There's a lot going on here. What is this? Shrine. Hey, we ran right up to it. We figured it out. Oh shit. Yeah, it's a magic rock of It's literally called the magic rock of Margon. Okay. Cool. RIP headphone users, sorry. I just found that hilarious. What is this? On Hydra. So this is another one of those Disney actors playing a part rotated through on his 9-to-5 schedule. So we're gonna have to taunt him, I guess, right? Is this the priest? Yeah, I'm here on a pilgrimage. Yes. Damn, dude just...
This land suits you. We welcome you freely, Outlander.
Dude just blessed the crap out of me. Alright. We can ask him about the Nerevarine. What does he say? Oh, just the same stock crap. Okay, he doesn't really tell me much, to be honest. Here, Mehrunes Dagon held this rock high above the Dunmer. Vivek taunted Mehrunes Dagon, so the Dagon threw the rock at Vivek instead of the people. So do I taunt him? I am Anhydra. If you are a pilgrim, read the inscription on the stupid rock. Taunt the Daedra. Your threats are weak like your flesh, mortal. Do I have to taunt him numerous times? Continue with your insults, mortal. I long to feast on your marrow. For some reason, taunt never ended with the target attacking me in my game. I ended up just murdering them and paying a fine. So it's based on your speechcraft, right? It's the same with admire and intimidation. You probably were just failing the taunt. You have to succeed at it numerous times, usually, before someone decides to kill you. Sometimes you have to sit there clicking for a while. If you have a decent speechcraft skill, it's not too bad. But if your speechcraft skill is dog shit, which yours probably was, you might have to sit there clicking taunt for a little while. I would recommend you try it again. Like in Saran at the guard tower for the Sword of White Woe, which you probably want. Just taunt that guard. And you might have to click it 40 times, right? But the second the goodbye comes up in the dialogue box, you know you're good. Make sure you have your weapon out too, because that lowers their disposition. But yeah, no, you have to taunt a while. Yeah, sometimes it takes a good while. Sometimes if people really hate you, 2 or 3 taunts and they go, die, Anwa, you know? But sometimes you gotta taunt the shit out of these people. You gotta talk them mad as shit. You gotta like Donald Trump them, right? Just start talking the maddest shit for like an hour, and they'll attack you. Like I'm doing to this poor Daedra. I'm taunting him. Ha! Fine words from one born from the wrong end of a guar. Damn, dude. Don't call my mama a guar. After I kill you, I will rape your corpse. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. Wow. I'll take lines that wouldn't fly in 2024, Alec. Bethesda wouldn't get away with that these days, would they? After I kill you, I will rape your corpse. Don't worry, I'll be gentle. Yikes. Damn. This guy's savage. He's way better at taunting than I am. See, I don't know what I'm saying to him because we don't ever get to see player dialogue, but I doubt it was as spicy as that line. I think this guy wins the taunt war. Is he about to attack me? Oh shit. Yeah, no, he's about to attack me. Okay, fuck it. Let's poison flask him. It worked on Umbra, it'll work on this guy. I'm now a little bit more scared because we have our difficulty level all the way up, and that is a multiplicative difficulty level. At 100, it's 400% additional damage taken, 25% damage done, right? So the fact that we have it at 33 right now, we're taking over 100% additional damage. Um, so now, Dremora that I would not have been scared of before, I'm a little scared of now. We're going to go ahead and poison flask him. I just pulled my copy of Morrowind out. That dialogue was on an 11 plus age game. So yeah, T for teen, right, kind of thing. Mildly vulgar language. It's funny some of the older games, especially 20, 25 years ago, some of the themes that just wouldn't fly these days. The world has gotten much more sensitive. And don't get me wrong, that's probably not a bad thing, right? But I think maybe we've gone a little bit too far with the cancel culture and sensitivity. Again, not a debate I want to have. I try not to get political or anything on stream. We're here to all enjoy the game and have fun. But we've come a long way, and perhaps we've moved those goalposts a little bit too far. I don't find that line of dialogue terribly offensive, right? I'll be able to sleep okay tonight, but maybe that's my privilege in not having been a victim of that kind of thing. I don't know. But yeah, that sort of dialogue would not fly today. I think we can all agree. Bethesda would not put that in the game. Does that mean the games are worse for not having that sort of writing? I don't think so. I think you can still have very compelling writing without getting offensive, but we are very sensitive these days, aren't we? Okay, let's kill this guy before he kills us. Boom. Poisoned. Oh, that poison is demolishing him. Damn, that is such a strong spell. Poison Flask is just doing it. Now, he did have a silver longsword. He didn't have his normal Daedric weaponry, so they obviously made it so that he wouldn't be super strong, which is good. Okay. Boom. Journal has been updated. Absolutely deleted. Yeah, even at the, I think it's stuck, right? Settings? Yeah, even at the increased difficulty level. Um, Maybe they just made him particularly weak because they don't know what level the player will be when they're doing these kind of quests. Generally, the forced combat in this game is a little bit nerfed, a little bit easier. Like those Ordinators that you have to fight in a previous quest chain. You're only on episode, what, 5 of the Let's Play, so you have a ways to go. But there's a quest that we did where we got attacked by 2 Ordinators behind us. They didn't have their normal ebony weaponry or anything like that. They made them quite a bit easier to deal with. So that's probably what happened here. But yeah, no, we deleted that guy with our poison flask. We are a strong orc shaman. My headcanon is he left part of his costume at home, and the silver is the temple's backup. It's a prop. It's a prop weapon. It's not even silver. It's made out of foam and aluminum foil. It's hard to even swing it through the air because of the wind resistance. That's my headcanon too, I agree with you. Although his job is literally to lose the fight all day. He has these shit-talking pilgrims that come in the shrine and just taunt him all day. And then he whips out his prop weapon and gets murdered. And then he gets reincarnated and has to go right back to work for the next shit-eating pilgrim that comes. that talks shit to him until he dies. That's probably why his lines are so vicious. The dude's not happy. Not happy at all. Okay, where's the Silt Strider here? Actually, how do you lose a Silt Strider? There it is. You know, they look a little like fleas to me. I don't know about you guys, and I don't know if you guys know really what fleas look like under like a microscope, but the Silt Striders look flea-like to me. And that implies, to me, in my own headcanon, that they actually leap through the terrain. I don't think they stride at all. I think they spring out. and we just land at the next town. So I've always felt that way about the Silt Striders. Giant fucking fleas. Let's go back to Alderaan. Hopefully there's no ash storm. There isn't. Nice clear skies, or as clear as you're gonna get this close to Red Mountain. So you know after like 9/11, right? All the New Yorkers in the area were breathing in all the dust and debris from the towers collapsing, and they have all these lung issues. They have mesothelioma and emphysema and all the asbestos kind of poisoning, and they have COPD and all that shit. I have to presume living underneath an erupting volcano with the air just covered in ash 100% of the time is going to do a number to your lungs. Like, I bet the average age of death in Alderaan is like 43 to non-small cell lung cancer or something. These people should be wearing a mask. Sir, you should have a respirator on. Okay? That's what I'm saying. Thank God for shrine care. Yeah. Is that a guard fighting a cliff racer? Oh, hey. That guard did a pretty good job. Better than the other one that lost to a bee. He killed it. Nicely done. You'll actually see that a lot of the native armor here has masks that cover, and they have like the burqas on, right? There's a lot of cloth. There's scarves that cover the face, and there's little slits for the eyes, right? There's a lot of this like cloth flowing all around it, and I think that's just a nice touch, right? Because these people obviously live in a sandy, dusty place where the air quality is really bad, and their armor reflects that with the kind of burqas and stuff that they wear. Whereas if you go to, Balmora, the guards there don't have all the extra cloth on their armor to protect them.
I am blessed to be at your service, Outlander.
See, this guy's nice. I am blessed to be at your service. This dude lives to serve. I like that. Better than the last guy. Alright. Duties, sure. Margon. Yes, you made the pilgrimage to Margon. It sounds like you handled Anhydra well. Since you have learned another of Vivek's lessons, please take this book as a gift. Deathblow of Abernonnet. Let's take a look at that book. It's probably a skill book. It is. It's a block skill book, and our block is now 72, which is nice. So something I asked in a previous episode, but I don't think either of you guys were here, is whether we should start reading books or not. I'm probably not going to do that now, but I did pose that to the YouTube viewers to see if they were interested in digging into some of the lore books in the game. There's over 200 books in Morrowind, and they're pretty long. There's a lot of story here. This one's only 6 pages, which isn't terrible, but they're really cool, they're really interesting, and some of the stories like Darkest Darkness or Cake and a Diamond are really well written, they're clever, and they're fun to get into, as well as, I think, world building a little bit and giving a little bit of background lore to the game. Also, it's one of the ways that you can find who the hidden 100 trainers are. Every trainer in the game that can train you to 100 is mentioned in a book at some point in the game, and that's the only clue that you have as to who the master trainers are. So the books are really cool, and I'm not going to go through and read this one, but I'm thinking going forward, when we get interesting stories, we should probably dive into them. I think it's just an interesting part of the Let's Play, and immerses you more in the world of Morrowind. That goes away a little bit as we go on, right? Oblivion has a couple new books, but a lot of them are actually Morrowind books. And Skyrim has very few books, and most of them are dogshit, right? Which just goes to show that they focused a lot more on combat and graphics than they did world building. But here in Morrowind, they spent a considerable amount of time putting 200 books into the game, and some of them are pretty cool, right? This one's The Deathblow of Abernonnet with Explains by the sage Geocratus Varnus. It looks like it's actually a poem. It's not iambic pentameter, but it is in iambic prose. Broken battlements and wrecked walls, where worship of the horror once embraced, the bites of 50 winters, frost and wind, have cracked and pitted the unholy gates, and brought down the cruel, obscene spire. All is dust, all is nothing more than dust. The blood has dried, and screams have echoed out. Framed by hills in the wildest forlorn place of Morrowind, sits the barren bones of Abernanet. See, that's fucking badass. It's not Poe, right? Um, but it's good. It's surprisingly well written, and games don't have this kind of stuff these days. I don't know who they hired to do some of the writing for the Morrowind books, but they were talented people. So, at some point we should go through and read those. And that's probably one of the ones we should read. Okay, duties. Speak to me again when you have proven yourself in the temple. I have one more thing to ask of you, but you are not ready. Until then, speak with Uvu Lauren in Ghostgate, Realms Gilvillo in the Redoron Canton in Vivec, or Eldrin Leloth in Vivec. We could. We have a chest of books in there, and what we can do is we can put all of the books that we collect in the chest, and then once we read one, we can just leave it out. We can like put it on the bed, right? And then we'll have like a rolling record of which ones we've gone through. But I think the Abernanet book would be a very interesting one, particularly because it's written in poetic prose, which is unusual. I don't know how many other books in Morrowind are written as poems, particularly like an epic poem, like this one is. Pretty cool. Cool stuff. So this guy doesn't have any more quests for us. We've finished his quest. We should go to Endrin Lilothin in Vivec, probably. Although, we can open up our handy-dandy notebook here and see what the guide recommends we do for the next quest giver. I have a $50 Lowe's gift card that I'm using as a bookmark. I haven't started my next woodworking project yet, but I'm going to have to soon. I'm making some raised cedar flower beds for out front. My girlfriend wants to do some gardening, and we don't have a whole lot of great place to do so, so I figure making some raised flower beds would not only add some curb appeal to the house, but allow her a place to garden. And the cedar is naturally resistant to rot, so it also smells great. Okay. So the book actually recommends we start with Endrin Lilothin. The northern end of Vivec's High Fane. I don't know what that means. Vivec's High Fane. Fane is an interesting word. It doesn't come up very often. Okay, let's recall. So one thing we can do while we're here, we can travel to Caldera. And what I've been doing is I've been selling all the rare books that I've been getting to the same trader. And the reason I've been doing that is because he acts then as almost like a rare book depository. And if I ever need anything, wrong guy, I can stop by and see if the rare book I'm looking for is in his inventory, because I've sold them all to him. Now this was of course before I had a player house where I could store things. Now that we have a house that we've stolen by murdering 5 people,
I find you most interesting right now.
I can open up his inventory and look at all the books that I've sold him throughout the playthrough. Why don't we buy these back from him? And we can put them in the chest at the house, and if we decide to do a deep dive reading some of Morrowind's books, we'll have them all there for us. 36 Lessons of Vivec. A Dance in the Fire, there's 8 of those, I believe. It's a pretty cool storyline. A Game at Dinner is a really fun one about a cannibal house party. We'll just buy 1 copy. Adrian Daedra, Biography of Baron Zaya. Jordan Peterson, oof. This guy isn't nearly strung out enough on Alprazolam to look like Jordan Peterson. We don't need the Brief History of the Empire, I don't want to read those. Chance's Folly is a very interesting one. Children of the Sky is a very interesting one. Fae Falcon, 1, 2, and 3, so we have the entire Fae Falcon series we could read through. We don't want that, we don't want that. Fire and Faith. Night Falls on Sentinel is a really fun one too. I remember that one. I don't remember Sithis. It's probably to do with the Dark Brotherhood though. I don't remember the Song of the Alchemist. That one's important in in Skyrim. There's a quest to grab the Song of the Alchemist. The Armorer's Challenge, we actually read that one in a previous episode. The Buying Game sounds interesting. I don't remember it. The Final Lesson. The Horror of Castle Zir is one of my favorite books. I remember reading that years ago. That's a good one. The Madness of Pelagius is a very interesting book. Because it's about Pelagius and his wife, and he goes fucking crazy, and his wife has to rule the empire. And she's a dark elf woman, a Dunmer woman, and she becomes the first female emperor of Tamriel. There's never been a female emperor before her, or I believe a dark elf emperor. So she was like the Hillary Clinton of the empire, the first female empress, and the only reason she became the empress is because her husband, Pelagius, lost his fucking mind and did some super crazy shit. So that's probably a good book. I haven't read it, but I know a little bit about the story. You can actually get Pelagius's bone in a Skyrim quest that unlocks a Daedric artifact. The Wolf Queen, you've probably heard of her. She was a ruler of Skyrim, actually. And you kill her spirit in a quest out of Solitude. So the Wolf Queen series is really cool too. Alright, so we're going to buy all these books. It's going to cost us 4,500 gold because this guy's a total fucking crook. Jordan Peterson over here is screwing us. But fine. We'll just fucking buy them. We have the money. We have this steel jink blade actually that we can sell to Creeper while we're here, and we can just make all our money back. How about that? How about that? Look at all this shit we've sold to Creeper. Particularly interesting is all of the Dark Brotherhood assassins we've fucking killed and sold their armor. We're up to 10 now. You think they'd stop sending them at some point. You think the Union would step in. But no. Apparently they don't have a very strong Union. We need something worth 2,000 gold. These boots, sure. There we go. So, also interesting, while we're here, another tip for new players, is at the very top of this place, there's this guy. And he looks unassuming, Duma Grolog, and there's this big piece of, like, stone next to him, and he's got some chisels and some hammers and stuff, and he's got a bunch of books about Azura. And this is a bunch of visual storytelling. He's a sculptor. He's the only sculptor in Morrowind that you're going to find. And there's a Daedric quest, much later on in the game, that rewards, in my opinion, the best weapon in Morrowind, called Gold Brand. And you can actually upgrade it through a Easter egg to an even stronger version of the weapon. And he's the guy you start that quest with. He's a sculptor that can repair a sunken shrine to, I believe, Azura in the ocean. And it's one of the hardest quests to come across because the shrine is literally in the ocean. If it wasn't for books or like the internet, no one would have found that quest. Like, no one's just swimming around in the sea 100 feet down in the pitch black is going to find a sunken shrine to a Daedric god, interact with it, get a quest to find a sculptor that doesn't tell you where he is, and then look in the top of this fucking house in the middle of nowhere and find this dude standing here. So it's one of those quests that I don't think most people would have ever found organically.
How can I help you, friend?
But yeah, if you ever come across a quest given to you by a sunken shrine to a Daedric deity, that's the sculptor up there. So let's bring all this stuff back to our house. I do plan on doing the Daedric quests. We're going to do some of them just over the course of playing through all these factions, but there are some of them that are very far out of the way. We will get them all done over the course of this Let's Play. Oh, an insane amount. Back when Bethesda actually gave a shit. Go to Belmore.
At your service.
Oblivion was a triumph graphically and in terms of physics, and they added a lot of really cool combat mechanics to the game. But Oblivion lost so much of the soul and atmosphere of Morrowind that I remember probably, what, 2006? 2007 maybe, when Oblivion came out. I was in college at that point. I remember buying the game and putting it on my computer and opening it up and playing it, and being so disappointed so quickly. Once Patrick Stewart kind of fades away, I remember thinking, this is what we waited for, right? All these pastel colors and everything's just light bloom, and the world doesn't feel nearly as culturally interesting as this does. Okay, so we have some books here, and we're going to add all these books to this chest. And this will be our little library at home. And over time, we'll go through and we'll read through some of these. See if we can find some cool stories. This is tedious. I like how heavy books are. If you ask any middle school kid who's got 7 different textbooks in their backpack, they'll tell you how heavy books are. But in most games they have no weight, or they have like a weight of 1. But in Morrowind, the books add up, man. They're pretty heavy. Alright, let's add this in here. Yep, Oblivion was a graphical triumph. And even the physics, I don't know how well you remember back then. But one of the cool things about Oblivion is you take like your bow, and you take an arrow, and you'd shoot the bow, and the arrow would actually drop over time, right? That was mind-blowing. In 2006, that was not a thing. People didn't have projectile physics in 2006. And even more, get this, if you took an arrow in Oblivion and you shot it into a surface, depending on what the surface is, it would either stick or it would bounce off. And it would bounce and it would roll. You could take a round item like a skull, put it on a ramp, drop it, and it would roll all the way down the ramp. This was not a thing. At that time, this was not a thing. This didn't exist in gaming, right? Splinter Cell had some like curtains that you'd walk through that would kind of wrap around your character, and everybody thought that was the most mind-blowing thing in the fucking world, right? And then Oblivion comes along, and you can shoot an arrow out of your bow 100 fucking yards into a wooden post, and then you can run all the way up there and see your arrow sticking out of the wood and pull it out and shoot it at something else. What the fuck? That wasn't a thing. You could take a torch and roll it down a hill, and you could see it illuminating the entire surroundings as it rolled. It was mind-blowing. Like, the graphical and physics triumphs in Oblivion cannot be understated. And when the game came out, that's clearly where all the focus was. That's where Bethesda spent all their time on. Yeah, it was about that time, right? Splinter Cell, Half-Life 2, Oblivion. It was a huge kind of step forward in gaming in terms of what we could do with these in-game physics engines. And it was wild. It was mind-blowing. And that's what got all the attention for Oblivion. And don't get me wrong, it deserved it. Oblivion was a beautiful game. And the physics were fucking insane. But that's not what anyone played Morrowind for. That's not what anyone played Daggerfall for. I feel like Bethesda lost the thread, right? Why was Daggerfall so successful? Why was Morrowind so successful? Was it the physics? No. Was it the graphics? Clearly not. The reason these games were so successful is because they were atmospheric and immersive with insane world building, a huge sandbox that you could create a character with, build it completely on your own, and go on all these insane cool adventures and get lost in this world. That's what made Daggerfall and Morrowind so successful. And then when they went to make Oblivion, they thought, well, none of that's really that important. You know what people want? They want sun shafts, and they want dynamic shadows, and they want ripples in the water, and they want physics on their arrows. That's what people play these games for. That's what we need to deliver. Yeah. So they learned the wrong lessons with Oblivion. Sadly. Okay, so we're going to Vivek, I believe now. We should just use the Mages Guild. Honestly, we should also save because it's been a hot minute. I think Oblivion was the beginning of the end for Bethesda as a developer. And I know that's hard to say, with Skyrim selling like 23 million copies or something, but The only reason Skyrim is enduring is because of the mod community. And for a console kid like me, Morrowind was an insane surprise. Don't think we had anything that deep on consoles. No way. No way. I was a little older, I think, than you. I think I was a teenager at that point. I was, but I had one of these. That's why I bought this, because it's so nostalgic for me. But I had this Morrowind Prima strategy guide from like Target or some shit back then. I don't know. And I'd sit there with this open on my lap and my little Xbox controller, roaming around doing all the quests and trying to find all the secret things. And there was nothing like that on console before. I think Phantasy Star Online, if you guys remember that game, was probably the closest thing we had to substantial console depth around that era. Which, by the way, I found a private server for Phantasy Star Online, which is open today. And there's actually players. There's a couple hundred people on whenever I log on, and it's pretty wild to see somebody playing such an old game. Vivek Guild of Mages. So what we're going to do is we're going to Alm Civi Intervention. We're going to put our Necromancer's Annual back on. And we're going to look up the name of this person again, because I've forgotten it. Lillethan. Alright. High Fane. Okay, so that was the word we were looking for. The Fane. He's got an office in the back. No. No. Haha. Andrin Lillethan. This guy's got a nicer robe than most of the priests do.
I am blessed to be at your service, Outlander.
Oh, another tip that I don't think is well known for new players. You know how we killed a couple Ordinators, right? Because these guys are fucking badass and they have the coolest medium armor in the game and they're really valuable to us. If you kill too many Ordinators, they will murder you on sight for the rest of your game. There is no bounty you can pay off. There's no one you can go to complete a quest to reset their aggression. I don't know what the number is, but if you kill enough Ordinators, even if it's fully legal because you taunt them into attacking you or something along those lines, every Ordinator in Vivek and anywhere else is hostile to you all the time. So don't kill too many Ordinators, or Vivek's going to become a very inhospitable place to you. You want to kill 5 of them, 10 of them maybe? Sure, but if you go hog wild on the Ordinator murder, you're going to have a bad time in Vivek. Okay, the blessings of Alm Civi be upon you, Orc. Have you come to join the temple? I have not come to join the temple. I've come for your sweet, sweet quests. A holy woman here in Vivek is spreading the divine disease to others. Well, what does that mean? Is it syphilis? Is it fucking genital herpes? I need a little bit more information about the divine disease, please. Someone must convince Tunasia Veloth to leave Vivek City. They're like, lady, please. You've infected half the guards now. Tunasia Veloth is a holy pilgrim and well loved by the people. Yeah, I got that impression. Do not kill her unless there is no other way. Try and convince her to go to the Corpsarium before she spreads the divine disease to others. She is very devout and would be most easily impressed by some show of devotion to the temple's teachings. Okay, where is she? I don't think he ever told me where to find her, just that she has to leave the city. Interesting. So she has blight disease, that's what she has, but she's blessed by Alamexia. If you don't know, Almalexia is one of the 3 tribunal, right? Tribunal meaning 3. One of the 3 tribunal divines. It's Vivek, Almexia, and Sothasil. And of course, Morrowind's mostly about Vivek, because he's here in the city he fucking named after himself, because he's an egotistical maniac. But Sothasil is not here, and neither is Almexia. However, they are in the DLCs. And I don't know, Warlord, if your copy has Tribunal and Blood Moon, but if it has Tribunal, you'll get a lot more lore about them. And Sothasil and Almexia are in that DLC, and they're very well done. They're well written. So we must find her and convince her to go to the Corpsorium. Okay, so I have no idea where she is. He did not tell me. We can maybe ask some of these people if they know. St. Dellen Canton. Okay. That's not what we want. We want Tenusia Veloth. What do you know? He's got nothing either.
Oh, wonderful. Welcome, Outlander.
Damn. I want that. I want that paper lantern. Can we steal this paper lantern for our house? Okay, guys. We're gonna use the Amulet of Shadows. How do you still see me? That is impossible. There we go. Thank you. We're gonna steal this lantern. Because I want it for our house. Don't judge me. Don't judge me. I feel you guys judging me. Boom. Got it. Thank you. Have a nice day. Put our Necromancer's amulet back on. Maybe you know. She doesn't know. So how the fuck am I supposed to find this lady? It gives me nothing. He gives me nothing and my journal gives me nothing. I'm gonna have to do what I don't like doing. She's in the Arena Canton. Okay. So, she's in the Arena Canton. I think Arena is over here. I think it's... yeah, it's just north of us. We could put on the Boots of Blinding Speed and run up there, but I think we can jog. Look how shiny we are now. We're so shiny. Partially because we're translucent right now. Reveron Canton. Wait, I don't think it's that one. That's the Foreign Canton. That's St. Dellen, Foreign Quarter. Might be here. Is this it? Arena. Okay, good. Found it. Trying to familiarize yourself with the Vex cantons is difficult. I used to have a map of Morrowind, actually, on my wall. Canal Works. Holding cells? No, definitely not.
What do you want,
Do you know where
Outlander?
this woman is? Okay. We're gonna have to go up. Huh. I actually never noticed there was a Nordic broadsword in here. Maybe we can levitate. There we go. Is that her?
I'm very happy to make your acquaintance.
Damn, she's looking a little rough. Definitely looking like she has the divine disease. Okay. Let's save. Just in case this goes poorly. And then let's try to charm the pants off of her. Boom. 100 disposition. Damn, we're good. And now we're going to have her check herself in to the dungeon. I wonder what dialogue option to use for her. Librarian from Star Wars Attack of the Clones. That is a deep reference. You dug deep for that one. Damn, I don't see a dialogue option for her. That is relevant. Ah, leave Vivek City. There it is. It's down there, though. As you get further into the game, people are going to have more dialogue options as you unlock just more stuff in general. And at this point, I'm far enough into the game that I have to scroll through like fucking 10 pages of dialogue options to find things. Leave Vivek City. Why should I leave? You have the divine disease. I have heard others make these claims. Why should I believe you? Am I disfigured? Do I look as if I have corpus? If you are more pious, perhaps I would listen to you. I doubt you have even read Sarioni's sermons. Okay, no, I haven't. However, I'm just going to charm you again. And then we're going to try that with the other dialogue option. Do this as a favor for me. I believe you are a decent orc at heart. I will go to the corpsarium because you have asked me so kindly. There you go. And what she means by asked her kindly is blasted her in the eyeballs with a charm spell. I pretty much just roofied her. For sure. Hey, hey, hey. I Cosby'd her. Okay, cool. She's decided to leave. We can probably Civi intervention. Back. Alright, I got your homie to check herself into the dungeon. I'm glad you were able to convince Veloth to leave. She will be cared for in the corpsarium, and will no longer spread the disease. Since you may have been exposed to a blight disease, please take these potions. Are you ready for further duties? I am. To prove that you have patience and wisdom, you must make the pilgrimage to Sanctus Shrine. It's another pilgrimage. God. Okay, where is this one? To make the pilgrimage, I must swear you to silence. If you speak with anyone before reaching the shrine, you will have broken your vow. Before you are sworn to silence, you may wish to purchase some potions of levitation or water walking. Great. There is no easy way to get to Sanctus Shrine in Dagonfell, and the waters can be dangerous. Tell me when you are ready to take the vow of silence. Well, what else do you know? Can you tell me where it is? No? Okay. Take the vow. I swear you to silence. You may not speak again until you reach the shrine. The shrine is on an island west of Sheogorath. Look for a shack with a triliolith beside it. What the fuck is that? I will mark it on your map. What is a triolith? You guys know? Have you ever heard that word? Okay. Journal has been updated. Wow, it is out there. You know what's hard about that? And I didn't consider this until this moment, because I'm not a smart man, is we're all the way in Vivek. which is a very fucking long way from the Sanctus Shrine. And it's not like we can just fucking travel there now, because I cannot speak to anyone. I can't speak to... oh shit. I can't speak to the guild mages for teleportation. I can't speak to any of the guys at the shipyards. I can't speak to any of the Silt Striders. Now I can recall myself to Balmork up here. And then I'm screwed. Then I'm screwed. How do I get from the fucking bottom of the map to the top of the map without speaking to anyone? Okay. I know what the subtitle for this episode should be. Running.
How wonderful.
We're going to be fucking running. Yep. We're gonna have to do that, but even with those, this is going to be brutal. We have 14 minutes left of this episode. Let's see if we can do it. Do I have a Fortify Speed spell? I do not. Okay. This is it. Let's go. I'm gonna kill so many cliff racers. It's gonna be insane how many cliff racers are about to die. Well, we just ran to Caldera. I guess that wasn't terrible. With the boots of blinding speed, the run from Balmora to Caldera is pretty quick. I should have traveled up there and used my mark spell, and then I could have just recalled. Thank you, Warlord. I'm gonna need it. Well, we've never been here before. What the hell is this? I'd like to find out what's going on here, but I cannot. This is giving me Forrest Gump vibes. Everyone in Vardenfell will be running with you, trying to figure out where you're going. So I just started running, and running, and I just kept running. I didn't know where. Or what from. You like my Tom Hanks? Nailed it, killed it. I'm ready for my Oscar. Jenny! We'll go this way. Nixhounds, my enemy. Well, we kinda lost the road here. Yeah, the running emote, that's us, man. That's us right now. There's a Daedric Shrine. Cool. I think we're about at Ald Velothi, which is honestly faster than I thought. Like, look how far north we are, dude. We were just in Vivek. You can see the frickin' trail we run all the way up. I actually think we might be able to do this. The boots of blinding speed are overpowered. Like, this is cheesy. I don't want to go this far west, though. Yeah, that would suck. For sure. Is that a rat? Block skill increased to 73. Awesome. No, not another Nick sound. Get out of here. I wonder if spellcasting violates my vow of silence. Because I'm probably vocalizing something, right? I don't know. That's a question for the nerds. And there are no nerds here. Watching a 23-year-old game Let's Play on a Saturday afternoon. Wonder if this will go through the mountains or not. I like how my fatigue bar is almost full. I've got legendary athletics. Alright, yeah, it might be water walking time. I gotta say, it's a slightly concerning sound effect. Both when I take my mace out, but especially when I put my mace in. Listen to this. It's kind of moist, but this is even worse. I don't know. I don't know about that. Shit. Right into the prison wallet. I mean, I am an orc lady, so... not. Is that a triolith? I suppose. Like you said, it was a three-pronged shrine or something, right? Is that it? Let's save before we fuck this up. Oh! There it is. You're right. Nailed it. Thank you. You have made the pilgrimage. Your vow of silence is lifted. Hey! And we did it in 8 minutes. Man, you are out there, lady. Ash yams, hey. I need those. Ancient chest. Sarione's Sermon's manuscript worth 50,000 gold. What? This is the very shack Tholar Sarione lived in when he wrote his sermons. I am merely the caretaker. No shit. So those are his original writings in that chest. Worth 50,000 gold. Gotta be the most expensive book in the game. That's crazy. This is a pretty modest little shack. You must freeze out here. Like, it's not particularly well insulated. In the middle of Sheogorad. With a fucking dirt floor. Jordan Peterson would love that copy. Yeah, he would. He can't afford it. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know if this is the play. Okay. Anyway, good. We did it. That was an interesting one. I didn't realize I fucked up until I accepted the quest. And you can see the exact path we blasted all the way up through Morrowind with the boots of blinding speed. Thank God for those boots. That would have been brutal without them. Now we get to play the game where we see if we got 3 points on our Greaves. Our Striders, we got 2 points. Are we okay with that? I'm okay with that. I'll take the 2 points. Alright, we're going back to Vivek, right?
Greetings to you. A pleasure to meet you.
Oh, not what I wanted. So I should just come in this door, because he's right there. What's this then? It's locked. Alright. Okay, bro. I did it. You made the pilgrimage to Sanctus Shrine, and you have proven your piety. I celebrate your devotion. Perhaps you would enjoy these books. Ho ho ho! We got a bunch more books. One of them's called Silence. That's interesting. It's an illusion skill book, which makes sense. I bet that's a really interesting story. And it's a short one. Let's read it. Let's do it. Silence by Gen Farrell Kimmeth. I've heard of you, said the old vagabond, very impressed. Aren't you the adventurer who slew all those ash vampires in Ghostgate a couple of months back? That I am, said Aristian Silverthorn with a weary smile for his admirer. He knew that his name was not yet legendary, and it was best to be polite. And you are? My name would have no meaning to you, but I am Irar Darathril, he said, raising a glass of grief. I hail from the region of Ghostgate, which is how I heard your name. Are you on an adventure as we speak? Yes, said Silverthorn with a grim expression. I'm challenged to rid the Grayslands of a rogue battle mage by the name of Ergramaro. Semi-professional playthrough. Hey there, Colding. I suppose. Am I a professional? Am I a semi-professional? I am a veteran of Vardenfell. Yeah, I've played a lot of Morrowind. Probably have over 1,000 hours in this game. That being said, I have not played this game in a very long time. I did most of my Morrowind back in like 2002 when I was a teenager, you know? But I did replay Morrowind about 7 years ago, I think in 2017. I did about an 80-hour playthrough, and so that refreshed my memory quite a bit. But yeah, most of my Morrowind knowledge is 22 years old, so am I a veteran? I suppose. But there's a lot I'm still learning, and I don't know. In fact, I just fucked up the last quest we did, so it's fine. Boo, should we finish the story? What are you thinking? How do you like this one so far? Outstanding, Colding says. Yeah, we've been uploading every episode of this from stream to YouTube, where I have a Let's Play going. Let's see if this still works. The Horror of Castle Zir, and you know, I said earlier that that was my favorite book in the Elder Scrolls series. The Horror of Castle Zir is also one of my favorites. I really like The Cake and the Diamond as well. Darkest Darkness is a good one. Is that it? Is that gonna work? Boom. Okay. That, I believe, is the link to the YouTube playlist if you end up wanting to watch any more of this. I think we're on episode 22 now. But yeah, let's continue with this this book here. I'll give you a second just to catch up, Colding. We're on the first page. But essentially, Silverthorn is going to the Grayslands to kill a rogue battle mage by the name of Ergramaro. That sounds high elven to me, so he's probably an Altmer, which makes sense. I've heard of him as well, said Darathril. He is said to be very powerful, an implacable foe. That is why I'm drinking now, sighed Silverthorn. So tell me, what is your profession? I do nothing, said Darathril, a man after my own heart, with some measure of pride. But in my youth I used to teach the skills of illusion at the University of Gwylem. I see where this is going. He's going to want to learn a silence spell for this extremely powerful high elf mage he's got to kill. Perhaps you can help me then, said Silverthorn, suddenly excited. Can you teach the spell Silence? I can certainly pay you. I know that spell, said Darathril. You might find invisibility very helpful as well, or perhaps darkness, which would allow you to sneak up on old Ergramaro. No, said Silverthorn firmly. I only have time to learn one spell. I have to kill Ergramaro, collect the reward, and be back in Nissus as quickly as possible. My wife worries when I'm away. Darathril agreed, and as the two settled back into their seats at the corner club and tossed back glasses of grief, the old man shared his knowledge of the spell. He explained what it truly meant to bend sound, creating a cone of silence as glass can bend light. He had Silverthorn close his eyes while he tapped the side of the glass, making him picture the sound as a physical entity before it was extinguished. Interesting. The adventurer, after a few hours of instruction, paid the old teacher and set off on his way. Indoranyan, Ergramaro's stronghold, was not far from Sadrith Mora, and he soon saw the blight and ruin that was the battle mage's calling card. Delving into the depths of the ruin, Silverthorn was set upon by the servitors of Ergramaro, living and undead. With his enchanted ebony blade, he was well equipped, he cut through legions before facing the master himself in the desolate main hall. Ergramaro bowed to his adversary sardonically, and then prepared to unleash a fireball to incinerate him. Before he had uttered the first word of the spell, he suddenly found that all the creaking and sighing of the ruins around him had been stilled. He opened his voice to speak, but there was no sound. Silverthorn took his time, strolling across the length of the hall, before dispatching the battle mage with one stroke of his blade. I like that, that's badass. He slow walks at the dude while he's silenced. The adventurer rushed back to the tribunal temple, where he had received his quest, accepted the gold and the thanks, and was back in his house in Nissus but a few days later. His wife Laya was beside herself with worry. I wonder if he's going to silence her. That's a boomer joke, right? All I could do night after night is toss and turn. I kept imagining you burned to ashes by the battle mage, and where would that leave me? Do we have enough gold that I could support myself if you, Saint Saren, let it not be so, were killed during one of these jaunts? I don't think so. Why couldn't you get a nice position at the Fighters Guild right here in town? I hear they're looking for a trainer for the Imperial Guard. I know, you want a life of adventure and danger and freedom. But if you'd only take one moment to think of me, stuck here all by myself, worrying about you. I suppose you'd like it if I took more of an interest in your work. But it's like I was telling Sir Calissa Vignum the other day. I said, Calissa, what good is a husband? Bam! He fucking silenced her. Leah continued to talk, deaf to the fact that her words were dead before they left her mouth. Silverthorn smiled and nodded his head, enjoying the silence. He could have killed Ergramaro without the spell, he considered, but he could not have survived his wife. Oh, that's a boomer joke there. I knew it was coming. I felt it in my bones. Like he's gonna silence his fucking wife. He sure did. We got a speechcraft book. We got a blunt weapon book. And then we have the Four Suitors of Beneta. And I actually read the Four Suitors of Beneta earlier. Actually, it's not the first. It's probably the third. But yeah, we did it. I liked it. It was cute, even though it was a bit of a boomer joke, and the punchline was pretty obvious ahead of time. I thought it was cute. And I love how badass the adventurer is, slow walking towards the battle mage after he was silenced. You'd think, being a battle mage, that he'd have the ability to fight with some degree of martial prowess, right? That's the battle and battle mage, but guess not. I guess he was just so kerfuddled by the silence spell, he just like, well, I'm fucked, I guess. I'll just stand here and let you kill me with your ebony longsword of flame. Alright, that is 1 hour and 4 minutes for that episode, so give me 1 second, guys, and I'll reset the stream. Be right back.